as we welcome. Owing to my mom's. There are too many hard things in life. But there is one person who's been in my ethereal field the most in the last 2 years. And he's a person who's done the most harm. And that's creepy. I have a pretty okay. What can we do more than to put okay? Maybe? Leave and come back, right? I've developed, and I think quite naturally, over the years, circumstances have allowed and encouraged me to develop a very, very, and certainly fear-oriented, a very negative view of the people who live here, and up and down the island, places that I've gone, and increasingly just how they feel, places of employment, towns, and how they feel, places have gone, and how they felt to me. And there's very few places, like I can go places around here, but I feel good. I feel, this isn't the place to be. This isn't my favorite place. I'm waiting. I've got time to push. I think it's probably going to be about 2:15 by the time I get back to the train trestle and decide to just go back there and wait for my mom. Although a perfectly good place to sit in the sun down here, near the airport, which I've discovered is at the end of this trail. So, and I spent an awful lot of my time not feeling good, I noticed, based on how people treat me. And I must be a very different kind of person, or I don't know if other people have my experience, they just have so many other things to busy themselves with that they don't experience the things that I do. I don't know, but I know that it's real, and I know that it's not good, and I know that there's a considerable amount of shock that needs to go. Another day of shock. Not going to feel good until I climb into my mother's car. And as the years go by, you know what I feel really good? Is leaving this town and this island in my rearview mirror and going back to the mainland. I've had enough negative experiences now everywhere I live. It's been 12 years here. I guess, no, let me see, 13 years. And I'm hitting around that 10 to 13 year, where I'm actually getting the most out of the area physically, having the worst experiences with people or the mentality of local people. I started the day talking about how white people talk to me, and I find out the limitations of their knowledge, and the worst case scenario, the limitations of their ethics, their judgment. And those limitations are terrifying. When we talk about, just look at what comes across as strangers. How would you treat a stranger? How would you treat a stranger? How would you never treat a stranger? And what about other people's thresholds? How people lower their inhibition about how they're willing to treat other people because other things were more important in their life than certain people. It didn't matter who those people were. There was just always something to prioritize over oneself or other people. And you became used to it. If something was wrong, and the way the TV sort of trains people, it's that you can't have two competing perspectives that aren't very swiftly arbitrated for as to one being superior to the other, regardless of any critical evidence that is the best way to do things. It's one thing to watch a TV show and form differing opinions about characters as you're supposed to, as you're led to do so through kind of catastrophic duality, where one thing or person, in a sense, must always end up preying upon another. Right? Their identity is that of predator and prey. Their fundamental identities line up, not in terms of regular gender, in terms of cooperation, but in terms of war and the dominance of one over the other. That's basically the basis of good and evil in movies and the Bible. It's the Gnostic and Hegelian dialectic. That ugliness and beauty coexist, with one always trying to destroy the other, and that's in their nature and identity. Night and day do not change so much as one destroys the other. And night destroys the day, day divides the night. And divide is to destroy. People say divide and conquer. It's destroy and conquer. To divide is divine. Diviena is the division of any and all things in life, such that one must destroy the other. So, their identity, their shared identity, or their complicated, war-based, competitive sense of identity. So, gender in a sense becomes something precisely because of what it's not because of what it is. And people become aversion-based, maybe, in a sense. But that gender is a very particular type of duality. And if we live in a world where one thing in a duality has to destroy another in order to get its sense of identity, you get a basis for scapegoating. Right? Something always has to dominate the other thing. Right? Someone always has to dominate the other person. Such a basic accusation. That's something I should be prepared for. I'm prepared. There's something I woke it up. She just takes out now, straight.